Timestamp, it's September 13th, 2025, about 7 p.m. Been up for a while. I'm taking you in the bathroom with me. I've been up for a while. I was actually talking to a friend that I haven't talked to in way too long. And I just pulled this guy off my shirt. You can see him. Yep, nope. I'm in the wrong place camera-wise. There he is. That, boys and girls, is a bed bug. I was shaving and I looked down and said, oh wow, what's that? Right there. Yep. So we're gonna put him over here for safekeeping. And we're gonna see how good he is at swimming. Yeah. Brushing my hair, shaving, looked down, I saw him kind of crawling across my chest. I was like, ah. Love that. The horror is real. Alright, you two. Got my guys waiting in the hallway apparently for me. That'll be a scrappy acorn and a hex doodle. Yeah, fellas, I'm trying to get out. Thanks. Walkway's hard already. They make it so difficult. Oh, man. So... there we go. It was like I had a little moisture or something on the lens. Letting that bed bug do some swimming exercises. I'm sure he's going to do fabulous. The instructor's going to be really impressed with his progress. Okay. Sold a couple more things on eBay. And this is good. What we got going on here? Okay. Got another high ticket item is probably going to sell. Somebody made an offer on something else that I can sell it at that price, but I'd rather not. Because it's worth more than that, but sometimes people will try and lowball you a little bit. You know, something's worth $3,000, they might say, I'll give you $2,000. And no, I'm not willing to do that. You want to talk 2,800? Okay, maybe we'll talk about it. I have no idea where and when that bed bug jumped on me, but because they're here, so really hard to say what the point of origin is. Ugh. That's my favorite thing. So that's the way I feel about it too. So we're going to go out to the burn barrel. We're going to take this guy for a walk. In doing so, take today's mail. I already got it. It's all predatory junk mail. Targeting older people that they hope have money socked away and that they're willing to part with all. Dealt with 2 suspected spam telemarketers, whatnot, today. Because now that I have my phone, the other phone hooked up with, and I don't know if it's rung while I've been on camera or not, But I have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Incidental music as the ringtone for that. Some of the chase music. You know, the bump, bada 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 bump, bada 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 bump, bada 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 bump. That one. Bunny! There's a bunny over there. Bunny, thank you for the chase you've given me. Yeah, he or she already left the building, Scrappy. No. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Keep looking. Was sprinkling a little bit this morning, so no garage sale. But I've upped the eBay game, so I'm not like, oh no, we're gonna have to eat the cats. You know, we're good. That was a joke that I had going with my mom years and years. Because she's, oh jeez, sit. She's the typical mom in the respect of one of the first questions she would always ask when she had me on the phone was, do you have food? This is, I don't know, 20 years ago. On one occasion I was feeling fun but snarky. And she asked that, and I'm like, actually the pantry's getting kind of low, but we've been fattening up the cats. You know, giving them corn and oats and things like that. And tell you what, Coco, he's looking pretty fine. I'm thinking Thanksgiving might be, you know, his day. My mom laughed and also grimaced all at the same time. These are all receipts that I'm putting in the burn barrel, by the way, because we have them. I have the receipts, but it's sadly nothing that anyone should keep for. No, what are you? You're a Publix receipt. That one went flying. You are from 2018. Got a Walgreens receipt that just went airborne. You're probably also from 2018. No, you're from 2019. You don't need to keep that. But my mom was more than happy to keep that. Oh, a Cracker Barrel receipt. From 2020. Yeah, my parents love Cracker Barrel. And if you've watched me for any length of time, you're probably sitting back going, yeah, I'd expect that. All true. Wow. This is a list of stuff that my dad wanted to get done. I can tell it's a more recent list. Because at the bottom of the list he has a list of things that were stolen or that he thinks were stolen. The other reason, and this is something that is mentioned by quite a few of the different, like Mayo Clinic and places like that have done their due diligence and studied dementia and Alzheimer's and all that. Part of the language skills, because language skills deteriorate with dementia, especially going into like final stage. My dad isn't the kind of guy that'll sit down and read a novel, but he is the guy that'll sit down and read a Popular Mechanics magazine, or it's funny, there's an exchange in The Trouble with Tribbles classic Star Trek, and son, Scotty, has been given, surely, he's been given time off. And he's lamenting to Kirk that all he really wants to do is sit in his quarters and catch up on some technical journals that he's been trying to read. That's my dad. Hi, got technical journals that I want to read. You know, that's my dad. My point is, my dad won spelling bees when he was a kid. He told me that a while back. He's like, yeah, and when I was in elementary and junior high, I won spelling bees all the time. I don't know if you can see that. He misspelled the word repair. R-E-P-A-R-E. That's not a word my dad, as an engineer, that won spelling bees as a kid, should be misspelling. But that's a pretty common thing going into final stage with the language skill deterioration, is they will start spelling things incorrectly. They might still spell them phonetically, but they won't be correct. That's phonetic, you know, as far as the way the English language typically works. But for those at home, you know, doing that version, it's R-E-P-A-I-R, not A-R-E. Because I also won spelling bees as a kid. And I'm a writer. Now, I do love my dictionary and my thesaurus, but I usually don't need them. The main time I need my thesaurus is when, damn, I've used the word repair a lot. I need another word, fix, but that's pretty simple. You get me. I need a couple more words for that, because I'm talking about a garage door that is in desperate need of maintenance. But yeah, there are notes scrawled on things. He wrote a note on the freezer, like with Sharpie. He wrote notes on the actual walls of his workshop, on the exterior, basically telling people to keep out. That he was a Vietnam veteran and would be more than happy to shoot them if they continued to break into his place. Vietnam. He spent almost 2 years there and can't forget what happened there. He knows how to spell the country. But now he doesn't. This whole dementia thing really sucks. Yes, more receipts. Sam's Club. That's from 2018. 2019 Walgreens. There's 1,000 of them. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Each one of those handfuls is probably 100 to 150. Magazines, including some gun magazines, which my dad absolutely does not need to be looking at gun magazines. Good, some Burger King receipts, that's good, yeah, sure. CVS, Walgreens. Good. I don't like this popsicle stand. Hopefully. That didn't work. Sorry. I got lots to work with. I got this big old toad out here. Don't worry, there's another. I could fill this with what Pix is sorted at the moment 8 or 10 more times probably. Yeah, pretty easily. There's a certain ridiculousness to the whole thing. One thing, some of the charities and whatnot that send my parents things every week, and I don't know if they ever actually gave to them or if it's just an incredible amount of optimism on the charity's part. But because I mean, like the SPCA, there's everybody. Pick a charity, especially ones that are like even more right-leaning. Friends of Israel, things like that. And bear in mind, I'm not saying I'm not a friend of Israel. Here's my personal opinion on that situation. If they are your friend and you're hanging out with them, I'm going to use this analogy so that you understand where my point of view is. If they're your friend and you're hanging out with them and all that, when they're really drunk and about to do something stupid or cruel, like, jump in their car and drive somewhere, if you're a real friend, at a certain point you ask for their keys. So I don't have a problem with the people at all, and I know some of them aren't happy with what their country is doing right now, which is horrible, frankly. At a certain point you ask for their keys. I don't really know why we're sending them financial aid and or more bang bangs right now. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. We know what you're doing with the stuff when we give it to you. So why are we giving it to you again? War crimes, right? That's right. We wanted to keep doing that. Okay, sure. I'm not a fan of that. It's very unnecessary, cruel, and all of that. Wow, fire is warm. Isn't that weird? Who knew? Come on, you can do it. Light, fire, move, finger. Got it. Okay. It's a good safety note, right? I've been to some really good schools. It's fighting me. But yeah, a friend called me out of the blue. I haven't talked to. I think I will call her LT. I haven't talked to her in way too long. Ooh, there we go. Maybe, kind of. Is it ironic that the Burger King receipt is actually igniting really well. It's flame broiled. We're going to put the grill over the flame, which seems backwards somehow. But yeah, I haven't talked to her in forever. She's a good enough friend, since I'm sharing all of my secrets with you. She's a good enough friend to where, and we've even talked about it, the two of us, on several occasions over the past 30 years or so that we've known each other, 32, we very, very much in our early life nearly hooked up a dozen times. But neither one of us is the home wrecking type. And every time I was available, she wasn't, or she was available, I wasn't. So she's the closest thing to a girlfriend that I guess I have. You know, because I have a wife that I actually really like. But and Pix knows about her. That's not even you have a secret. Pix knows all about her. The three of us have talked at length. We're all friends. But yeah, no, LT and I, somewhere in the multiverse, I probably married her. Because, you know, I didn't meet Pix, or something went horribly wrong earlier in our relationship and we didn't go the distance, you know. There's probably a couple multiverses out there where I hooked up with LT. She's been a good friend for 30 plus years. So. It's all true. But yeah, we talked for probably like 3 hours, actually. You know, she's in my age demographic, so she's got some health issues going on, and her family is not the same kind of weird as my family, but she's got weirdness as well. So we were comparing notes and catching up. And she's still fabulous. I love her to death. Absolutely. Ollie's brochure, that'll burn pretty well, hypothetically. The Burger King receipt is still smoking. Further proof that flame broiled beats fried. We're going to ignite that Ollie's brochure and see if we can coax, because I got a big old pile of receipts and other papers and stuff. And there's still a little bit of stuff from yesterday, which it was moist last night, earlier today. But then because it's Florida, then it became, you know, more blazing hot in the afternoon. It's nice out right now. Actually, I don't know. I don't really see a lot of clouds, so it may actually not be wet throughout the night. Hard to say. I'm not going to worry about a garage sale even on Sunday, though, because I've kind of switched into eBay mode for the weekend. And that's getting me a fair amount of attention. I might actually sell a dozen plus things this weekend, which I'm okay with, especially since 3 of them are, actually 4 of them are kind of, you know, the kind of items that take care of your bills for the month, price tag wise. You know, we've got some collectibles and whatnot that, they're not just $3 cover price comic books. They're extremely hard to get a hold of action figures that are worth, you know, $500, stuff like that. Come on, work with me here. Come on. Yes, even you. It's like falling out. That makes me very angry. I mean, it doesn't really. I'm pretty easy going, but I would love to get some of this going. Put on fluid there. Next time I go to the tree, I need to pick up a couple more 2-packs of these guys. Just really good lighters, and the prices on them are pretty good. guess I'm trying to quit smoking, and I'm actually doing okay on that. I'm like at 2-3. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. From a stress standpoint, this week's been weird. True story. But we still have candles and incense and various other things that we burn around here. So between that and like the burn barrel and all that, having a couple good lighters on hand is a good idea. And I know I have some somewhere, but I haven't been able to figure out at this point what box they're in. So let's pick up another pack or two. It's on my mental list. Okay, how about the Publix brochure? You gonna be the one that starts it all? The Burger King receipt's still smoldering over here. Come on. Work it. I like to get this started and contained, so I can walk away knowing I didn't just set fire to the backyard. I would like to make some progress on this because I've got 20 banker boxes full of this crap. Come on. You're sort of doing it. Yeah, you're doing good. Keep going. Keep doing that. Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling like we're off to a good start here. Got that going on. Let's see. Behold my magic. But yeah, LT and I talked for about 4 hours, which was cool because we hadn't talked in 6 months, maybe 9 months. She had seen my post where I had mentioned my mom had passed, but I know we hadn't talked since then, so that's May 8th. We're now September 13th. So there was a point where we talked, for an hour or two, like once a month. She's in another part of Florida. Yes. I'm going to hang here for a minute just to make sure it doesn't do anything cray. We have fire. Oof. Felt a burst of heat there. Oh, well, that's why. That would do it, right? It felt warm for a second. Oh, yeah, because there's a fire there. I'm smart. I'm very, very smart. Okay. Switch hands, because definitely think like I should be using my dominant hand for this silliness. Just in case I have to react quickly. I'm essentially a child playing with fire. Those are not fireflies. Also one of the greatest shows ever. smoky. Luckily, I'm a responsible adult. I'm pushing my luck on that one, but I didn't feel too bad saying it. Not a whole lot of guilt there. And there's so much. What in the hell is this? Oh, my mom kept some of the weirdest paperwork. Some of it's from when she went to school, too. She went back in her low 50s, and I got mad respect for this. She went back in her low 50s, and she and Dad were sitting back looking at Social Security, which may not be there for me anyway, but for her at least. And my dad was the breadwinner pretty much the whole time, you know. Pretty typical American family. And she saw that her Social Security, the projections, because they'll send you notices like once a year saying, if you were to retire right now, this is what your monthly check would look like. In case you're not old enough to know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. And she looked at his number and she looked at her number and she went, wow. Because you get back what you pay into it, which is another reason that, from an immigration standpoint, there's some people that are like, oh, the immigrants are taking all this. They can't. And in fact, they feed money into it and never actually get to collect on it. Look it up. It's in a book. But her number was way low. So she said, I want to go back to school and get something going on that is high paying to where I can try and rack up some points real quick before the buzzer, you know. So she went back to school in her 50s and got a degree in nuclear medicine and became a nuclear medicine tech, basically a nurse of sorts that works with like chemotherapy and stuff like that, working with cancer patients and such. And I'm proud of her on that. Going back to school as a 50-year-old woman or something like that, that's just as a human being, that requires some moxie. It's cool. But she's still got like all of her classroom notes and stuff too. You know, she's been, she passed obviously, but she's been retired for 15 years. It's like, you don't need that anymore. You know, these are notes that you took when you were in college 35 years ago. You can do something other than have it in a box in your office. It doesn't have to stay there. Never met a piece of paper she didn't want to keep. Don't do that to your kids. Please, dear God, don't do this. I'm begging you on their behalf. Don't do this. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'll probably jump back on and do another one here in a bit, because I got a package or two I want to open. I'll open with you. Oh, dear God. So much smoke. Yeah. So I'll talk at you in a bit. Make it a great day.